Hi, my name is Tony, and today I'm going to show you how to make my pan-fried garlic tofu from plantbasedonabudget.com. I love this tofu for meal prepping because it's great to double or triple the batch and keep in the marinade in the refrigerator and then pull it out on a weeknight right before you're ready to serve dinner. We're going to start with the marinade. It's super easy. I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to start with some garlic. I would recommend a minimum of 2 cloves of garlic. I have about 4 small cloves right here. And you can either mince it or press it into a small jar or bowl. I'm using a mason jar and using a knife to scrape out any that I can. Next, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. If you're feeding someone who's gluten-free or you yourself are gluten-free, you can try using some gluten-free soy sauce like the kind from Sanjay or liquid aminos like the kind that Bragg's makes. Then I'm gonna add in the juice of a lemon. This one is from my neighbor's tree, so I feel like it's extra special. They're very juicy. These are Meyer lemons too, which I strongly prefer. They have a little bit of a sweetness. And when I was young, I used to eat so many that the dentist told me I couldn't eat any more because the enamel on my teeth, and I still crave eating them. I know it's weird, but I just love them so much. Next, I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of water, and then I'm grating in a little bit of ginger. Gotta make sure you're watching your fingers when you're doing this because these graters can be dangerous if you're not paying attention. Then stir. And then we're gonna set it aside. Next, I'm gonna cut the tofu diagonally. You can really cut them into any shape that you want to, but I like to make them a little bit bigger so that they cook faster. And then from here, we're gonna take them apart like this, slice like that. Set these aside. I'm making them on the thinner side so that they can marinate really well. We're gonna put them in that homemade marinade and we want them to soak up all that delicious juice. Then I'm gonna place them in an even layer and I'm not gonna touch them because I want all of the juice to soak into the tofu. You'll have to let me know if you're a tofu lover. I know that tofu is a mixed bag. A lot of family members are skeptical about tofu, so I wanna make sure that you're having a really good tofu experience because I too was once a tofu hater. And I want to make sure that people grow to love tofu as much as I have over the years. Now I'm playing Tetris with the tofu. I have just a couple pieces left, but I want it to fit. And if I don't get them all in the pan, my husband would just eat them plain. He is not picky. Okay, I think that that is probably as much as I can get in there. Actually, there we go. We did it. And I'm gonna pour the marinade into the dish, the casserole dish. Try to make sure everything is covered. And I'm gonna even do a little bit of this. Now is the time to be patient because we're gonna let it marinate for about 2 to 3 hours and preferably overnight. So I'm gonna come back in the morning and I will show you what it looks like. Then we will fry it up. I realized I forgot to slice the green onions that go in the marinade, so I'm gonna do that now and add that to the dish. And what I'm gonna do is slice them at an angle so they are prettier when I serve them. And I'm gonna go down until it hits the white spot. As you can see, they look like this. So they're cut at an angle. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add them into the casserole dish as a last minute addition. I'm so sorry, I forgot about it. I'm going to sprinkle them in all over. And then I'm going to shake it up like this. And then I'm gonna place it in the refrigerator for real this time and let it sit, do its thing, and come back to you tomorrow. The tofu marinated overnight and it looks really good. At some point before I went to bed, I flipped over all of the triangles to make sure that both sides were marinated and they're looking good. So now I'm going to saute them. Now put your pan to medium high to high heat and cover the bottom with a little bit of oil. We want to make sure that's evenly spread out because I'm going to start placing the tofu on here. I'm swishing the oil around to make sure that the whole pan is evenly covered. This is what our tofu should look like when it has been marinated overnight. Once the pan has been heating up for about a minute, we can start placing our tofu triangles evenly. We want them as close as possible so that we can make sure they all fit. Now we're gonna let this brown up a bit. I would say about 2 minutes, but keep checking because it really depends on how hot your burner is. If you have a fire burner or if you have an older electric burner, that can impact the timing. I'm on a tabletop electric burner, so mine is not as hot as someone who's cooking with fire. This is what we want it to look like before we start turning them over. Now I'm letting this brown on the other side of the tofu. We'll do that for another 2 minutes or so. And if you smell it burning, go ahead and turn that heat down. I'm now gonna pour in the rest of the marinade that we used overnight to give it that extra flavor and so it doesn't go to waste. Now I'm gonna turn them all over one more time so that the rest of that marinade gets on the other side as well. I'm turning off the heat now because I don't want my tofu to burn. I'm going to remove it, and any sauce that's left over, if there is any, can be an addition to how I serve it. Now I'm going to sprinkle on a little of these toasted sesame seeds that I just happen to have on hand. These are optional. I don't think I even put them in the ingredient list because I just have them and I want to use them. And if you have some sesame seeds, they'd be a great addition. And then I sliced up 1 stalk of green onion, and I'm gonna put on some of that too. This one is fresh. The other one that's on there is cooked. And here we go. It looks good, it smells good. When I'm serving this for dinner tonight, it'll probably be 2 to 3 servings, and it depends on how hungry my husband is, but I would serve it with some vegetables, maybe some broccoli or asparagus, and a grain like quinoa or tofu. That would be how I would serve it. I would put some hot sauce on it, and it otherwise smells and looks delicious. You can also just eat it as is. You don't have to serve it with a whole spread, but that's how I serve it. I'm gonna take a quick bite. Very delicious and very flavorful. I hope you love it as much as I do. I'm gonna drop the recipe down below, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I really appreciate you watching today. It always makes me so happy when I receive comments, so I'd love to hear from you. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.